Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of F1 2020 My Team Korea. This weekend we are going to be at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. As I promised you guys last time, we're going to be making some upgrades to our chassis department this weekend. This so we can hopefully be able to do more than one upgrade at a time. So we're going to get the fabrication upgrade, $2.5 million, we have 2.8 in the bank. That's reversed on the 25th of April, which actually should be before this weekend actually starts. So, we're going to fast forward time here at some point. We're going to show you the tree first. I have 1.7k points, but I'm going to save it because I want to put it onto the chassis department, but I can't until I get the chassis upgrade first. And we're going to get the 100 acclaim for the esports event. So, before we go to the interview, we are going to upgrade our chassis department. We also have a new sponsor to put on the car as well. So, I'm going to go for this sponsor here called Achieve. I don't know how you say it, but only score 3 Constructor Championship points during the race weekend. Now I feel like the car's getting quicker. This is actually more possible to do every race weekend. So, I feel like we can actually get that bonus as well. So, there's that done. We're now going to add that sponsor onto our livery. We only have 2 sponsors on our livery at the moment, so we're going to put this sponsor on as well. Just so they can have a bit of advertisement as well, seeing as that's what they pay us for. So we can give them a bit of advertisement as well. Let's just make sure they're all on there nice and neat, and it's all looking good. I might do some livery changes. If you guys want to see any livery changes, please let me know. I might change the livery up, maybe change the colours for a certain race, or just in general change the team colours. You don't know. Might do it for the new season, might do it midway through. But now we have 1.7k resource points, quite a lot this early on. So we're going to get 2 upgrades and go a minor and a major upgrade. So that will boost our chassis up quite a lot. Almost jump us up 2 or 3 teams worth of chassis development. And now we're going to go to our interview with Will Buxton. I will let you guys listen to what he has to say, and then I'll start talking.
Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful?
So I'm just going to put there, we invest in our staff, so as long as Luca gives us good results, then he'll stay in the team.
Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future?
Yep, that's true. You can't build a championship winning car overnight, so it will take time to build up to be a championship winning team. I would just say Luca's going to be loving the car, isn't he? I hope he is.
Will your team be going for the Constructors' Championship this season, or just for points?
Can't believe he's asking that question. Brand new team into F1, already asking us to be going for the Constructors' Championship. That's not going to happen this season. As many points as possible.
Be getting much more comfortable with their car.
There we go, just boost our claim a little bit there.
It's been wonderful to spend some time with you. Best of luck out on track.
I do like these interviews that we have with Will Buxton, just because it adds a different element to the game where you actually got to think about what you say, and it does affect your team's morale. So now we've had that interview, we should be looking to head into the race weekend now. So we're going to advance time here, and hopefully we will be at the Dutch Grand Prix on the 30th of April at Circuit of Zandvoort, which is a very, very nice circuit, very technical circuit, and I'm sure you guys will see this during qualifying, and I'll see you there. So we're just going to skip to, we're going to go to practice now. I will be simulating practice, just because it does give me quite a few resource points, without having to sit practice. I only do it on a flying lap. I can try and get, what I'm trying to do at the moment, I'm trying to get banker laps in. So these are laps where I'm not really pushing the car too much, but it's enough to sort of see me through into the next session. I might do one more, just so I don't, to make sure I guarantee I get myself a clean lap in. Did ride the curve there a little bit, I hope we're going to get a nice exit here. Get rid of all the stats, just got a nice clean lap here. Open the DRS, and away we go. Luca Giotto set a 1 minute 12.1, not bad time from Luca, could be better. But as again, he's probably done the same as me, set a banker lap in, go down to gear 3 here. Nice and early on the power, don't want to spin up the rear tyres. Very good exit there actually. Down to gear 5, ease off the power. Do not want to lock up here. A little bit of a lock up on that left front. Ah, we've lost the rear end. There she goes. The rear end goes sliding. Gonna use a flashback. Right, through the corners here. Trying to do the same again. Nice and early on the brakes. No lock up this time, so it's better we have a little bit of a better exit. Easy on the power, a little bit of a wiggle of the rear end. Kvyat says a 1 minute 11.3. It's a very good time. That is 8 tenths quicker than Luca Giotto. That's not very good from Luca's behalf. Bottas sets a 1.98. Yep, that just smashes everyone out the window, doesn't it? Down into gear 3 now. Nice and easy on the power. Now go back and full throttle. Lost the rear end there slightly. So I thought there's a lot of time to be found in this lap. And there we go, there's the rear end out. Okay, I reckon we've lost ourselves at least a second here. Verstappen takes at 1 minute 9.6. This is of course Max's home circuit, so you expect him to be quick this race weekend. Again, the rear end steps out on us. Very sloppy lap. I talked about a banker lap, but this is actually quite a sloppy lap here. We'll see how we do. We've only used up 50% of our ERS, so we might go for a second run here. Do 2 laps on the same tyre. Are we going to do 2 laps on the same tyre? Nope, we're going to go straight into the garage. So we're going to fast forward time a little bit here just to try and make sure that the track is clear before we go out. Don't want to get caught in any traffic at all. And we're going to go out again for our next lap. So, about to set our lap down through the braking zones. Try and keep the tyres nice and don't want to mess the tyres up before the lap starts. Try and get a nice exit out of this corner. That's a very good exit actually. Early on the power. Open the DRS flap straight away. Good exit there. That should give us a little bit of time maybe. Actually losing. There we go. Good exit. Now we're up on our time. Hold it in gear 6, down to gear 5, now down to gear 2, lock up the left front a little bit there. Get a good exit here, rear end step down a little bit, not as much as before, so we're up on our time, a 10th up so far. I feel like we can gain a lot of time in sector 2, which is coming up, so early on the brake. Now through this section, trying to touch any of these curbs. 2 tenths up now, late on the brakes here, down into gear 3 now, early on the power, want to get a good exit here. That's a very good exit. Now we're 3 tenths up. Now we're 4 tenths up. Good exit here. This way we lost at least a second here before. Early on the power. That's it. 6 tenths up now on our time. Late into the braking zone here. Spot the braking zone quite late. Down to gear 3. Chuck it down to gear 2. Get the car turned in nice and easy. Now back up to gear 3. Get a good exit out of this corner. That was a much better exit. Now into the braking zone. Early on the power. Lost a bit of time on that exit compared to before. That could have been a second up on our previous attempt. It's going to be about 7 tenths up on what we did previously. 1:10.6. We're actually going to go round again. See if we can get a good exit out of here. Yeah, good exit there. We're going to actually up on our time, even though we've got less ERS than we do on the actual full qualifying lap. We're going to see if we can go quicker with lower ERS. We're going to have to manage my ERS on this lap a little bit. Just because I do not have 100% like I had before. I get the display up. We're going to chuck it down to none through the corner. We lose a bit of time because we've done that back on the power. Chuck it into 2 hot lap. Down the gear and then back on the power. Do not hit the curb. That was a very good way we did that. Didn't hit the curb. Now we get a good exit out of this corner. That's going to be nice and aggressive on the power here. Yeah, there we go. Much better exit. There we go. 1.5 tenths up. Late into the braking zone, down to gear 3, now up into gear, down into gear 2 rather, early on the power, get a good exit out of here, back on the power again, 1.5 tenths up now, or not, or 1.5 tenths up rather. That was a much better exit than before. We see how much time we lost before there. We're going to be an extra 3 tenths up, maybe even 4 tenths up, 3 tenths up rather, on our best before, and that was on the same set of tyres as well. Laps aren't perfect. Like this bit here, that was a big lock up there. So down the gears now, down to gear 6, early on the power, that's much better there. Good exit, up into gear 7, Down to gear 6 again. Out early on the power. Don't try to ride this curve too much. Down to gear 3. Turn it in nice and early. Now get back on the power. That's it. Little wiggle of the rear end there. We did put the power down. Power back on. Yeah, a little bit of a wiggle of the rear end. Probably can find a slight bit of time there. Not too much. We actually got good power delivery. Through the corner into gear 3. Down to gear 2. Get the car turned in. Back up into gear 3. Early on the power. Only 4 minutes left in this session. We might only have time for this one lap. Might have time for one more. Not too sure. Early on the power. Try and get through this corner here. Open the DRS flag. What time can we post? A 1:10.4. And we could not improve that time, guys. And now we're going to go straight into the race. 5 red lights. And away we go. Kvyat blocks our inside lines, so we can't actually go anywhere for the time being. We're now going to maybe scoot to the inside, try and gain some places here at turn 1. We were in P12, now we're up into P10. Yellow flags behind us. Try and get round this turn without anyone trying to barge our sideboards through. Past, we've got Sainz in front of us, we've got Ocon right behind us as well. Down into gear 2, try and get a good exit here without spinning up the rear end. Rode the curb a little bit there, so now we just lose time to Sainz. Ocon's trying to go around the inside. Nice move there, we're going to have to let Ocon go past. No way we could battle that. It is also starting to rain. Now the forecast for this race was initially dry when I first looked at it, but by the looks of it, it's going to be raining, and it might actually be raining for the majority of the race. So I feel like we're not going to be on these tyres for very long. So we shall see how that pans out. We're going to get early on the power here, try and keep up with Sainz. We are in the top 10 so far. There we go. Jess told us rain getting heavy for at least the next 15 minutes. We're definitely, probably most likely be going on to Inters at some point. Not at the moment though, we've got enough. And I've designed this new strategy that I have found out, which works quite well, is saving your ERS more. So I was watching a F1 esports racer, and they said that they save their ERS and use it all up within one block of time. So for a really important overtake, I said this back in the last career episode, for a really important overtake, you can use a lot up just to make sure you get that spaces for a podium, for some more points you desperately need for the championship, rather than using quite a lot up each lap than having 10% for the rest of the race. So we're going to try that tactic and see if it helps us get a good result here. We're going to enable our DRS again, have a little short burst of it, turn it off. Now we're chasing down Lance Stroll in the racing point, down the gears, down to gear 6, back early on the power. Okay, nice delivery through, down to gear 6. Try not to ride this curve, now it's raining as well. Down to gear 3. Early exit out the corner, very good exit there. Only 4/10 behind. Yeah, there's my engineer telling me to use my overtake button more. I know, Jeff, but I'm not going to use it all up in one short space of time, which he obviously wants us to do. Now down to gear 4. Nice. Now back early on the power. There we go. That's it. Nice and early on the power there. Back up through the gears. Enable the DRS. No, I keep saying DRS. This is in the last episode as well. ERS. DRS is now enabled. I'm surprised that the stewards have enabled DRS considering the weather conditions. But I'll take it. It means that we'll make the overtakes a bit easier on Lance. Down through the gears. Down to gear 2. Nice and early on the power. Hopefully. Oh, we ride the curb. That would have lost us quite a bit of time. Now Carlos Sainz is going to come back, and I think he's going around the outside here. Very brave move from Carlos there. Wow. Now we've got Ocon right behind us again. Down the gears, up early on the power. We've got to try and gain time back to Lance. Overtake Sainz first. Down to gear 3. There we go. Nice and early on the power now. Change through the gears. Down to gear 3 again. Shift that nice and early. Oh, rear end kicks out there. Enabled DRS, but DRS flap open. A little bit of ERS as well, but lost a bit of time to Carlos there. Down to gear 2. Back up to gear 3. Get the car nice turn. And now we're right behind his gearbox. Oh, again. This is where the conditions are getting very slippery now. Be a bit more cautious with when we deliver our power. We're going to try and get downsides on to lap 5 now. Down on the inside of Carlos. Very good move. Now back up into P9 so far. So points are looking a very strong possibility here this weekend, which would be very helpful for our Constructors' Championship place. I'm not too worried about the Drivers' Championship this year, if I'm really honest. This first season is about getting enough money and developing the car so we can fight for the Drivers' Championship later on in the seasons. So I'm mainly focused on the Constructors this year. So the more points we get as a team, as a collective, the better. Oh, wobbling a bit there, down to gear 3, so you can shift up nice and early, lose the rear end again. Get very difficult yet. We skip to lap 7 now, and now it is time to change the tyres, come in for intermediates. Everyone else is doing the same. No one opting for the wets yet. It's definitely not wet enough for wet tyres yet. Right. Come on, Morris Motorsport. Give us a good start. That's not a very quick start. 3.1 seconds from the pit crew. Not the best pit stop they've ever given me. They're quite an inconsistent pit crew, actually. I need to try and... Well, I want to see if you can actually upgrade your pit crew. Because I know in 2019 you could, but I'm not sure you can in this game. But, oh well, we've got to deal with it. It did lose us at least a second there, unfortunately. But now we are stuck behind Alexander Albon and Charles Leclerc. So we've actually made up some ground during the pit stops, hopefully. With other people not pitting just yet for their intermediate tyres. We've got Kimi Raikkonen behind us, but he's still on the soft. So he's going to be struggling in these conditions on the slick tyres in this weather. Not surprised from the stewards there disabling DRS, which is actually a wise move. They should have done that a lot earlier, if I'm honest. But they've disabled it nonetheless. So now we've got a train of cars. Who are they stuck behind? I think it's one of the Haas cars who's still on slick tyres. This gives us an advantage here. We can try and close up to these guys, which we wouldn't be able to do normally because we don't have the car for it. But they're being forced to go slow. Oh, nearly into the back of Alex Albon. Can we actually squeeze down the inside? Yeah, we can. We squeeze down the inside of Albon. That's a very good move.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
Very good move down the inside there. Very happy with that. You get down the inside here of Vettel. Let's go. A nice move. So many cars overtaken in that one spot there. That was excellent. Absolutely fantastic. Down the gears now. If we can hold on to P4, I will be elated with this result. I know it's only halfway through the race, but we are in P4. Wow. Don't say that often. P4 for Morris Motorsport so far in this race. Skip to lap 14 now. We can see the conditions are worsening quite a lot. Skip to lap 14 because nothing really happened. I'm still in P4. Sergio Perez is in the pits for what it looks like to be wet tyres. He's going to come in for. I don't blame him. Look at these conditions, guys. They're not suitable for the intermediate whatsoever. We're going to skip to lap 15. We are in P3. Oh, again, these conditions on the intermediate tyre are so difficult to comprehend with. Try and shift up a little bit early if we can. Shift up through the gears. We've got to try and keep these guys behind us. They are luckily on the inters as well, so they should be struggling for grip. Max Verstappen trying to go up our inside. We're going to try and keep him down at bay. Down to gear 2. Get the car turned in. I think I can see a Racing Point coming back. I think that's Sergio Perez in the background. I think the wets should have been the condition.
It's a bit of a crossover period for sure, but the longer we stay out, the worse it's going to get.
I was very tempted to come in for wet tyres here, but I decided to stay out on track, as we do have track position, which is P3 at the moment, and I did not want to let that slip out of our hands whatsoever. I thought we got to make the most of being in P3, which never normally happens with this car. We're going to skip now. It's the end of lap 16, going to lap 17. We're going to have to defend going into this turn. Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel behind on wet tyres. We're going to have to watch out for them because they're going to be absolutely rapid now. They actually have some decent grip, whereas we don't have any grip whatsoever. Down the gears now. Early on the power, well, not early on the power. Be very cautious with the throttle delivery at this point, especially when it's this wet. Nice and gentle on the power here. We're going to skip to the end of this lap at the moment. Again, we're still fighting, but now Sergio Perez, who made a pit stop in front of us, has caught back up on the wet tyres. It's going to be very difficult to keep him behind for this last lap. We'll see what we can do. We're going to skip to the end of the lap, and we actually have kept Perez behind and Alexander Albon on the wet tyres. We are going to come through to claim P3.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you've pulled through. Thank you. great race.
So P3, guys, very, very good result for us. I'm very happy about that. Look at Lewis. Lewis is happy as well. He's happy. I'm on the top. I'm on the third step of the podium. Podium spot already in our career. I will admit that was down to luck, not down to the car's performance. So we move up to 6th in the championship for drivers and 4th for the constructors. Very good result. We got driver of the day, P14 to P3. Luca Giotto did retire out from the race and no points on his behalf. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you did enjoy, smash the thumbs up button. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your support. And until next time, bye for now, and I'll see you soon.